Okay, let's jump in on today's video, which is what makes a great listing agent. And if you're listing your home in today's market, you really need to think about who are you in relationship with, because you're looking to trust someone with a $500,000 asset, a $750,000 asset, a $1 million plus asset. This is significant. This impacts your wallet, this impacts your family, this impacts your job, this impacts your bank account. And so it's significant that you know what kind of skills your listing agent has to make sure that you get what you want in the time frame that you want it. And so, yes, the market has slowed down. Yes, values have come down. Yes, the market is a buyer's agent in everyone's minds, but on paper, it's a listing agent. There's actually not a significant amount of homes on the market. A 3-month supply on paper still is a seller's market, while we know the buyer sentiment is reservation, apprehension, anxiety, some fear. And so it's more of a buyer's market right now. And so what strategies do we have to be able to cause things to happen? And so I'm sitting and having a conversation with a seller the other day, and our first weekend on the market. This property is a significant home. There's quite a bit of an estate. The property is beautiful. There's outstanding amenities and features and benefits. And so the first weekend we get significant interest, but no offers. And so I huddle up the troops and we have a conversation around what we can do to cause something to happen. And so a technique that I've used in the past is called reverse offer. A reverse offer. So now a reverse offer is when we get a lot of interest, but yet don't see an offer. And so the reverse offer is an offer from the seller. Okay, now what we do is we huddle up and we take a look at what's going on. How much interest have we had? What kind of conversation have I had with buyer's agent? Is your listing agent having conversations directly, voice to voice, not on their phones or on their computers, direct human interaction to be able to talk about what's going on? So much can be lost in emails and in texts, tonality, misinterpretation. And so you want somebody who can specialize in having a direct conversation with another human being. Now in this circumstance, it's finding out what's going on, what's happening in the minds of the buyers, in the minds of the buyer's agents, and be able to engage that to assess what's going on. And so I huddle up the troops and I'm sitting down, I'm talking to the sellers, and we're talking about what's been going on, the remarks and the conversations buyers are having with their buyer's agents and buyer's agents are having with me, so that we can devise a plan to be able, I gotta have some fun in these videos, so just bear with me, to be able to put a deal together. Because at the end of the day, it's about putting deals together. And one of the most significant portions of a skill set of a listing agent is the negotiation process, almost completely overlooked, never talked about in listing presentations, if you're even getting them, sellers, for understanding the value of a listing agent. And so in these circumstances, the negotiations is let's instigate some negotiations. Let's cause some negotiations to happen with a reverse offer. And so the conversation boiled down to where we understood we should engage buyers in regards to making an offer. Now look, we're already listed at X price, and yet we're not getting offers. So what's that tell us? Well, it tells us clearly that buyers aren't interested in making an offer at that price. So here's what we know. That price doesn't work right now. And so the whole conversation is rooted in what's going on with the market, what's going on with the conversations with the buyers with the listing agent, to figure out what would be a good offer to offer the buyers So let's say in this case, the listing price was $500,000. It was significantly more than that. And so what would be a good offer to the buyers? Well, if we're not getting offers at $500,000, well then look, easily we're probably 3% to 5% overpriced. Now, depending on the number of showings that we're getting, okay? So that's a whole nother conversation that I have with sellers in regards to how many showings per week are we getting without offers? So number of showings without any offers. And we can kind of gauge through my experience and years of selling literally hundreds of homes, approximately how much overpriced we may be. Because I was just on the phone right now with another, not a client yet, but someone who I was consulting who's a homeowner in another city who had his home up for sale, said, Paul, I'm not getting any offers. He was listed at 1.075 million in another city, and he hadn't gotten any offers yet. He told me, I'm thinking about lowering my price $25,000. Well, look, if buyers thought the property was worth making an offer on just $25,000 lower, he would have already gotten an offer. So $25,000 is not going to do it. If you were to figure out 3 to 5% on the low end, 3%, look, $50,000 to $75,000 at a minimum, the property value needs to come down. Okay, so rewind back into my scenario here in the greater Austin, Texas area, and what should we offer the buyers to be able to respond and negotiate with our listing? So if it was 3 to 5%, let's call it 3% of 500,000, that's 15 grand. An offer at 585,000 would probably cause the property to sell, or at least create some interesting conversation to help us know whether or not that was in the ballpark. But look, if a buyer thought the property was worth $495,000 or $490,000, we would have already got an offer because they would have felt we were close enough to the strike zone, $500,000, to make an offer. But we didn't get an offer. So where do we need to be? At least $485,000. Okay, so long story short, conversations, calculations around what's going on with your listing, with the activity, with the minds of the buyers, with the conversations of the buyer's agents who help those buyers make decisions, and with the person that you hire, Vision Realty Group, Austin, Texas. Man, I'd love to hear what your experiences have been with listing your property and not getting any offers. Or hey, we just love having conversations, even if you're not our client, not somebody else's client, that's somebody else's problem. I'm talking about, you're thinking about listing your property, you're thinking about what your home value may be so that you can be strategic and intentional about activity and conversations that will cause your home to sell. We provide free consultations with that all the time. Call us and text us here anytime to be able to provide inside market information so you can get a little bit more clarity around decisions best for you, your vision, our mission, Vision Realty Group, Greater Austin, Texas area. Stay tuned.